Dialogue. Constant dialogue is key. Look at them.
Whatever.
When we first met, you're almost the kind of person who can be upset at you and not feel like it is her responsibility or she should go through the stress of having to bring it up and talk about it. She could just freeze you out.
Okay, so you mentioned, or he mentioned that you're on 3 projects and he's on 2. With Keon in the picture, how right now, how's it been?
Manage that? And then,
because you also mentioned time.
I hate having to say it, but it is what it is. He's a lockdown baby.
During the lockdown.
So by the time he arrived, there was still like 2 months left, of lockdown. I started work because we got a special permit to start, doing content. Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
this was my producer on that project that she used to bully me and bite me on the chest.
Wow.
Yeah, she's probably my favorite producer. But so moving on. So I started work and it was still tough. Okay. Because of the restrictions, I couldn't be going to work and coming back home. So I was away from home. Aww. Thankfully, my producer, who used to bully me and harass my peace, would actually get someone to.
You see, these are the perks of when you're the one that is hands-on with these people, that you wait with them. Can you see now?
Can you guys take this
somewhere else?
Can we do this?
No, we've promised not to bring work here. Okay, so no work here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah,
cool.
continue.
Anyway, so it was still really tough.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we had grandma, we had my sister's-in-law. But he was such a handful.
Nobody tells us.
No, see, he was such a handful. It literally took 5 adults.
Huh?
Yes, myself, Ihoma, grandma, Chidima, and Chinyere.
5 adults to do what?
To keep Keon
Balanced.
happy and smiling.
Okay, so but what if your sister-in-laws were not available?
They had to be there.
They had to do it. What's the other guy on social media that used to plan and you do his hand like this? Listen, we knew that we would not be able to handle it on our own, so we'd already track everybody.
I think my mom also knew because she kept insisting that my sisters come and stay with me.
Oh right.
So the last 2 months
she's
of
not around.
pregnancy,
somebody must be around.
They were. My sisters-in-law were both around.
So one question I wanted to ask you was, did you have to stop work for a while though? After you
gave birth, because the ban was lifted.
How was that? What did you guys have a discussion about that? How did you understand? I just want to know what that process was like.
So, like he said, it was during the COVID lockdown that we got pregnant.
Yeah.
So, and luckily for us, the company where we work at, they told us to. So 6 months before I even gave birth, I was already on maternity leave.
Okay.
Oh wow.
A whole 6 months.
That's a lot.
Boredom won't kill me. Jesus. I remember
she started playing games with me.
What
was the one that we used to play?
Guy.
Like this one that never used to pick up the control pad before. She started playing games with me. She was bored.
And Ibro was so finicky about the COVID that I couldn't step out. Balcony. Come back.
You're pregnant.
The only time I was allowed out was
for going for
antenatal. To go and check.
And
guess what? When I'm going out, Ted Mainland Bridge. That's how I'll bring out my head. I'll be saying, hey, this is outside.
Like a puppy. Like she'll put the window down, stick her head out and be like,
oh my God, I'm just there like, outside. We outside.
Like I don't know this person.
I'll be screaming, hey. So that happened, and after Keon was born, 4 months.
Okay.
Because I had the agreement that your maternity leave does not extend more than 4 months. If it does, they're going to cut my salary. I need the money. So I stayed 4 months and I went back to work.
And how was that? Because obviously 4 months you're still breastfeeding.
Yeah. Was there any reason as well?
Resentment.
Yeah.
Like when he comes home and he has things to talk about and everything. And he asks you what you do. Like, Kion pooped on me.
there was resentment that he was going out and I was staying at
Yeah.
home and taking care of the kid, the baby, and he was just there having
his life.
fun.
So,
I called it fun.
so do you know what's happened? Sometimes something really fun will happen on set.
Hey.
And normally I'll just, pick up the phone and be like, meanwhile,
Guess what
that's
happens?
how. So I don't pick up the phone and wait, hold up, guy.
This can be
Nothing
used
happened.
against you.
This
can be used
can and
against
will
you.
be used against
But
you.
you know, it still caught him. It still caught up with you because
no.
he will now be gisting. He won't tell me the gist. He will now be gisting. I said, oh, that's how I told you now.
She'll now be like,
You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me.
but wait,
oh, but I told you.
On the flip side, there were situations where mommy
Of
brain
course,
had kicked in.
blame it on mommy brain.
When I would
it
have
on
told you
mommy
about
brain.
something, I could not give her full gist. And then later, when the gist pops up again, she'll be like, no, you didn't tell me. I'm like, bruh, I told you. Thankfully.
You know, he will not let it go. He will not let it
No,
go.
when I'm right, I never let it go. Thankfully, sometimes I used to prefer to chat than to call.
She have evidence.
So you have
Baba, I would just open what's
You
tab.
used to whip out evidence.
I would just search the keywords.
Whip out evidence.
So what?
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Sorry.
I would just
You
search
went
the
there.
matter. I think, can you see? She now be like,
So yeah, there was a little resentment.
Resentment,
But
okay.
he made it up
Okay.
to me
Okay.
by paying me monthly.
yeah.
Why did I think of that?
It's past.
Hey.
Not just
So
monthly. I think
but baby-
every job he gets, I
but
get
baby-
10% of that
Oh,
job.
that's really
So that I
think
don't-
I like that.
Nice.
I have-
for-
That's
for-
nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Well done.
For what? That's it for what? Next time? The
No,
next
no,
one?
for young couples.
See, if you never tell you what to do, never tell you to. Rogba, you're my brother and I love you. But my darling, since he didn't put you on the
Wait.
salary when you weren't working,
Yeah.
this is what you should do. Every check that he gets, collect 10% in perpetuity. That's what we do.
Oh, they calling out.
However, comma, there's a caveat.
What's the caveat? Why can't you just give me good news once?
Because he's my brother now.
Whose side are you on?
Side of justice.
Hey, you do realize that this is our Oga. Last.
Hey.
But you know when you get that, when you get that
Don't say it
EP,
like
when you
that.
get that
What's
EP
the
gig,
caveat?
What's the caveat here? What's the caveat?
no, she tends to figure out ways to, in little ways, just spoil me a little.
Why
Oh,
do
from
that
That
for him?
no, I mean from that.
From the same money.
Yeah. So in a way,
It did
No,
join.
because I do that
I
already,
know,
yes.
I know.
But I like that 10%. So
Yeah.
baby.
Are you with child?
It's not, no, he said in in English, yeah.
Perpetuity.
You have
Yeah.
to start from the point of I've deprived you of something. What have I
Are
done?
we not doing that 10-year thing that you have to enjoy for 10 years?
No, that was for life.
Wait. When it's 8 more years to go. Yes, the road is still far. 8 more years.
I am done.
8 more years.
I'm done.
Okay. So it's something I want to get your opinion about. So most people always pretend like what girlfriends or women can't. Is it pretend? I want to say it properly so I'm not misunderstood. So when I was earning a lot, when he was picking up his business and they were trying to get him funds to build the record label and all, I was the one that had an income. So, and for me, my income was more of a late down, like, so perception, nobody knew this. So I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So does that also apply to you? Like, okay, so when you were earning before you got pregnant, was your money our money? Because, you know, he left his industry to come into the film industry and pick up. So obviously things might not have been that rosy. Now, so I think my question is in two parts. What's your opinion about it? Is this something you did? And then do you think it should be known? Because people don't let it be known. Then when there's yawa, and it was me that used to run the house, that comes up a lot because my career was much better. You understand?
Witchcraft.
So
what that thing
like
is. That thing is witchcraft.
so should people know? And I think my opinion is I don't think people should know, and I don't think if an issue happens you now announce it. But that's my opinion. I'm curious to know.
Yeah, I think it depends.
Depends. So
So-
I'm curious to know.
For me, I would always give what's the word where you want to praise somebody and say, oh, now you do one for me.
Credit.
I always give credit. that is the word.
Baby.
I will always give credit to my parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I grew up from a home that has values. Family was very important to them. So I watched my mom and my dad handle the family and the finances of everything together.
Okay.
I watched how my mom would, even if it was my mom who did it, and we knew it was my mom who did it, my dad would get the praise.
Okay.
She won't say, because she wants her husband to look a certain way and all that.
Yes.
So I grew up in that kind of home and environment and all. And even there are some things that my dad wasn't the one who did it, or was the one who did it, but my mom would take credit for. So you don't have to announce it. So if that was the advice my parents gave us when we were about to get married. One of the advice my parents, I said, don't let people outside know what's going on in your home. If you are having difficulty or anything financially, sort it out within yourself. Nobody should know where the money is coming from. So I have that mentality. We have it now. Okay. So now he sorts out all the bills.
Soft life.
Sorts out all the bills. But I am very, I am very open.
When is this household plan
I am very open to telling him how much I make, so that we can have it out there, because we have accounts where things have to go into plans. So this is how much I'm making from here. Okay, this is how much is going here. This is how much is going here. This is how much is my own.
Yes.
Okay.
So we know that.
Okay.
So we had a lot of conversations while we're dating.
So this part of it.
Sweetheart,
We're learning.
we have to learn this.
Rogba,
Let your right palm, let gravity work.
Let it go.
Yes.
So
All right. Yeah.
Has gravity let your my good man?
Let's go. So this is the magic. We must learn this sweetheart.
It is working. Don't worry.
Put your hand like one hand in the middle.
this
This woman. Sell this market.
Perfect.
I've got it.
That's
the
it.
image. Take a picture. BTS.
BTS.
Take a picture. Thank you. God bless.
So we had a lot of that's one of the things I feel like we are grateful for.
Okay.
That while we're dating, we used to talk a lot.
So you are one of those list people.
So we didn't have a list.
We didn't have a list.
But when we started doing counseling, that's when we
No. You know when.
Danger is coming.
No, when they are calling your number, at the lottery, you have to answer. Can we continue? Yes, bring it. Uh-huh.
So it was
So
during
you had
counseling.
the list. You are talking everything.
We don't have
through.
list.
But it was
Yeah.
You people are talking through everything,
all
every single
scenarios,
thing. I mean, possibilities. What
Yes.
can happen?
Yes.
Was it a bad thing?
Nobody died.
Thank you.
It
God
worked.
bless you.
Because during
That's how you remove
counseling,
your hand.
There.
That's how you moved your hand.
Let's continue this sweetheart. Let's go.
so during counseling, that was when we realized that almost everything that were potential
Triggers.
Pitfalls.
we had those conversations already. I was raised by my mother. My parents split up when I was about 7, so I didn't have the 2-parent type thing, But there's something important that my mother used to do. I knew how much my mother made
Bedtime.
every month because she used to have her pay slip delivered to the house.
Okay. Was that intentional?
Yeah, where she worked, they had the option of either getting it at work,
Okay, or at the house.
they deliver it to the house. So this is delivered to the house, and most of the time, I mean the day when the thing show. So at some point, she's like, "Why didn't you open it?" I'm like,
Privacy.
and then so she would open it, and then would have a list of stuff that we needed to do for the house, for my siblings, for myself, for her, and then we'd check. Later, I realized that the reason why she stood that is so that nobody would have any unrealistic
Expectations.
You understand? Because Oga,
This
you
was
know
what
what
I
they
want.
did.
cannot come and tell me you want to buy Puma shoe.
You two
Yes.
talk to them.
Tell them, talk to your siblings.
Okay.
So from a very young age, I learned how to be responsible financially, how to
good.
plan, and make sure that if it's not possible, it's not possible. And then even if it's possible, if it's not necessary, plan ahead. Exactly.
You started.
And then she
never
used to always
late.
tell me that it is better to have something and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
So we used to prioritize. Even if we do not need it, let's try and have it
Have
in
it.
peace. So, but
And
then when I started,
she always was in agreement.
yes.
Okay.
And then when I met her dad, the first conversation he and I had, we actually even talked about stuff like that. And then he broke it down and everything. And then spending time with her parents, it's a very simple template that they have worked all their lives. And it's working.
Great.
I mean, this one, if she has her way, she'll probably... Okay, let me not say it.
Okay.
No, say it.
Yeah, still a daddy's girl. Like, she's such... Like, her dad is like her hero. So the shoes are big.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to...
He's trying. No,
So I wanted
give
to
you your flowers.
also. I mean, this is the career episode. So let's talk about your careers. So both of you work in the same industry. I mean, what is that like? What are the challenges of working in the same industry? Is there favoritism?
So, how we doing it? Time.
Yeah.
So, scheduling. We have to plan our scheduling.
it's exhausting.
Like we have 5 days in a week, apart from Saturday and Sundays. We might be working as well. But within that 5 days in a week, I have to have 1 day, or he has to have 1 day that we can spend together.
Like both of you have said, that
Yes,
must happen.
on that day we are not working. See this day.
We don't always achieve that aim, Sha.
Yeah,
No, but
most of the time it's my fault, Sha.
Yes.
It's your fault.
It's a plan.
It's mostly
Yeah.
my fault, but-
Then on this day you are not working, I'm not working, so that we can spend time with Keon and as a family. Or he's not working, I'm working, he's with Keon. I'm working. I'm not working, he's working. I'm with
You are with
Keon.
Keon.
And if both of us are working, God bless you, Chidema. She's at home.
No, look.
She's
see,
there. She's with the nanny, and she's always hands on. Or if she's not available, I will ship the nanny and my boy to my
To your
parents, and they'll stay there.
Okay.
Or it depends on when we have to travel as well.
boy.
I have to make sure I am not working that period when he has to travel.
Okay.
So that
And vice
Someone
versa.
is
And
available.
yes.
And that has worked so far.
Well, how
has so far.
so with producers and all that, like, do you feel like you get favoritism because
Funny
of each
enough,
other?
no. So here's the truth, and it's wild, but it's true. But a couple of people have actually told me that. So, we're very open and out there about who we are to each other and how we feel about each other. And I've been told this by my colleagues and then by my employers a couple of times. That is actually not helping, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
What way?
what's not helping
What's not helping?
us being so...
into each other. They'll be like,
How?
I haven't given you guys this gist. I think I'm giving Robert
Is
this
it
gist.
just
now.
I
Camera.
don't-
It's an off-camera.
No, it's
joke.
not an off-camera.
No, it's not. It's not really.
All right.
So, what it mostly is they'll tell you, like I've been told by some of my colleagues, and they're like, bro, I'm married too. And the reason why I'm not out there about it is because when the audience is watching, the ladies who are watching want to imagine themselves as the lady you're playing these scenes with.
Okay.
You understand?
like Bridgerton.
Like, don't make me expose you here. I ban for you. My friend, come on, go on. And when it's so top of mind for them that you are married to someone that they know,
can only see
and they can only see you like that. It's difficult for them to connect with you as, oh, my TV heartthrob.
all
You
right.
understand?
Okay.
So you will get the messages of he's so this and that. But I know he's married. I beg, I don't want trouble. You know those kind of things. So apparently, it is one of the things that some producers look at, because they want to be able to sell
Yeah, film.
the idea of this guy being accessible to their
To the female audience.
Yeah.
Does that also
And-
happen with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, but you know,
So how do you guys intend to balance that?
my dear, at the end of the
It's a
day,
question.
at the end of the
It's a
day,
question.
right? Every career has a shelf life.
Sure.
One day to you know,
understand.
but then this is forever.
Yeah.
So you cannot, if you have to look at that, then
To give us a job and not look at our talent that we can do it.
of which this girl is talented. Sha.
I know.
Of which this guy is talented.
Stop.
And accepted.
Nollywood sweetheart.
Kind of to wrap up, what tips
Do you have?
do you have for upcoming
Like-
couples?
People, so I think you should just like in terms try and see if you can hit the notes. So there are people who work in the same industry, but there are also people who don't work in the same industry, but they have careers and they need to balance the career.
Yeah, so-
Then you have the people, the ones who are newly wedded, the ones that just have kids. Like
They're just trying to map.
they've been
map it out.
the people in the stages you've been through already, you know. So
what
how
would
would
the
you
tips-
advise them? What
Yeah.
what tips do you have for them?
I have one. He can hit every other one, but give me one. Talk about it first before you decide anything. You have to communicate and talk about. Yes, people will agree on something and change their mind
Agreement
eventually.
until you're no longer in agreement.
Agreement is an agreement.
Until one person decides they're not in agreement.
So, but still, even if you decide that you're no longer in agreement with what you people had an agreement about
Oh,
2
earlier.
months or 3 or 2 years ago,
Own it.
own it and talk
Be
about
honest
it.
about the fact that
And
you-
come out and talk about it. Be open. I don't know how people do it, but I'm very open financially too with my husband. I have to put everything on the table there so that we can both know, and he's open as well. Very open. As in more open than I am.
Okay.
And also happy wife, happy life.
Yes.
He gives me 10%
That
of
is
his
not a
money,
lie,
and
is
that is okay. I'm very
Stop
happy.
saying this to you.
But maybe it's true now.
So that's where the site is good. Right? So
That's what you want?
that's where the
tight.
site
That's
is
when
good.
it's good.
Yeah, that's what it
No,
is.
you pay tight, Sha. You still pay tight.
Yes.
But then, you will tight to,
Me.
Yes.
To madam.
To the temple.
To the temple. So for me, I feel like, as Rogba said, it's there are different stages, of relationships and everything. For people who are in the same industry, first of all, your business.
Okay.
Only put out stuff that you do not mind if people regurgitate.
Okay.
Protect your own at all times. Then, if they're both on-screen people, just inform each other. Keep that. Just constantly feed them with information per time. Okay. Oh, we're wrapping late. So this is where we're sleeping tonight, or we're walking through the night, or my flight has been moved. All those. Just keep them informed. If you're hanging out with a bunch of people, let them know. Send images, do a video call, all of those things. To some people, it's like excessive, like I beg, what are you?
But it's like an assurance.
It's just simple assurance because we're human.
Yeah.
And she's super attractive. So, I mean, it helps that yeah, pants. It helps that she lets me know these things, even though naturally I am not a jealous person.
Okay.
I was raised by a beautiful woman. My sister, I grew up in the north. They're beautiful people. I've always been, but mad people are mad people.
Yeah.
And there are mad people everywhere.
Yeah.
So even if you're not the one who is trying to be silly, someone else will bring stupidity
Silliness.
into your space. Yeah. So there's that. And then because of her, I learned to do that as well.
Okay.
So I'm constantly updating. I'm constantly giving gist, And then for people who have a little human at home and they're both career people, first of all, the Lord is your strength.
Amen to that.
Secondly, the reason why you're doing these things is for that person. You understand? Because I want to be a house husband. I've been saying it forever. I said it on Twitter, said it on Instagram. That's my ultimate plan. I want her to blow and start making mad
But
money.
before you are a house
that-
husband, you'd have been a billionaire. Right?
But then yes,
I cannot go
but
so
if you
far.
do it,
You are a billionaire already. Sha.
Amen.
So you think myself don't want soft
Amen.
life?
Hey, boy, you be
boy,
doing
you
soft
be
life as
like a
house husband, but as a billionaire now.
It's not the let's yeah. So, because one of the I enjoyed hanging out with my son. Like he's fun, and I didn't have that growing up.
Okay.
So I want to be able to be the father who
It's
is
present.
very present and always there with his son. Then, if you're not in the same industry, but then you guys are there for each other and blah 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 blah. Truthfully, marriage is not easy.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
So when people say, "Oh, marry your friend," it's not just a yarn. It's not cliche. It is the fact. Marry your friend. Because one day, you wake up, look at this person, and be like,
I'm not sure if I love this
"Do you
person.
understand?"
But it's my home.
But when you understand. So when the excitement and the
Guys.
romance and the heat is not there,
Like you
friendship
used
will
to be.
take the friendship
like it
guide
used to
you
be, then the friendship has to. You have to be able to fall back on that. And thankfully, this
It's your friend.
is my guy. Like,
Your guy.
she looks all, but she's not.
She's not right.
She's oh god.
I think I know
like
a
I'm
little
fully
bit.
entertained every day. Fully.
I've seen a couple on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
People,
couple in real
if you
life.
see the things that I go through in real life, thank God that she has the whatever to not post everything because bruh,
Praise
they use
Je-
me catch trips.
Praise
Said,
Jesus.
I forgive you, babe.
You're welcome.
Wow.
But it's also a plus if you're in the same industry because you understand your
Yes.
work.
Oh yes, I forgot that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go and sit down there. Fam.
Naughty corner.
So because so coming into this space, it was like a whole new world. Like I was like, now so it be.
Yeah.
So it really helped that she was there to literally
Hold your hand.
hold my hand through it. This is my acting coach. Like the first ever scene I ever did in my life.
Pause. Should we pause?
Oh boy. There's some things I say I will
Profile
never say this
shots.
thing again in public because this is your big
Profile
head.
Profile shots.
Did you get it?
Yeah,
The
you
other
get it?
side?
Did you get it? The good side? Yeah.
She's actually a fantastic coach. Like I keep telling her that
thank
you
you,
need to start
baby.
doing, master classes and start because this girl has she knows things, and it was important looking back now because I've only been in the industry for 4.5 years. People think I've been here for 10,
Longer.
and more, but 4.5 years. Now, first of all, now because
You had the
the
support.
first ever scene that I shot, she actually drove over to my place, and said, okay,
Let's do this. Let's practice.
let me tell you a few things. And then we ran the lines and then she said, no, take your pauses, see this, do that, blah, blah. So by the next day when it was time to shoot, I wasn't
You
as
were
freaked
natural.
out. I just gave them some Damini White, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So it's important to just always have it at the back of your mind that look, it can be scary, it can be crazy, but if you're in the same industry, just keep it all on the table at all times. It helps.
Yeah, so tips. Let's give out what did we learn? What did we learn from this episode?
A lot.
Or what
I learned
exactly?
a lot. I learned
Yeah,
a lot.
what exactly do we want to leave people with?
Open up to each other. Don't keep secrets. Like I said earlier, your friend and help me now.
I was waiting. I was
Don't
waiting.
say wrong, but
I
you
just
can
wait.
chip in anytime.
We can land this plane. So I think from what we said, from what they've said, it's really important that first of all, you guys understand that a career is temporal. It's for a short period of time. Your family, your marriage is gonna last a lot longer. So
Amen.
just prioritize, family first,
Yeah.
then you have the career. So understand that work no dey finish. You always have something to do. There will be deadline, there will be that. But your wife is there, your husband is there, your kids are there.
Make
You
out
need to
time.
make sure that you are feeding that because one day the kids will grow, they will go. One day you and your
My
wife.
son doesn't want to go.
That story for another
Calm
day.
down.
He said, I have to leave. I said, you will. He said, I don't want to.
You will want to.
Yeah, you want
You
to.
will want to. So there's that on the one hand, and then consistent communication in marriage. Like we can't overemphasize
Size on
that.
that.
Understanding that you need to separate things. Work is work. Family is
Is
family.
family, yeah.
Don't let that spill in unnecessarily. It's not.
No
it's
matter
not
your
even a big-
career,
whether you
it's
work
just-
in the same industry, you
or
don't
not,
work in the.
yeah.
Then, like Ibrahim said, it's not a big deal. Your wife is any more than you.
It's okay.
It's a phase. It's
okay.
life. It will happen. Tomorrow you are any more than her. It's a phase. It is life. You guys are partners. Work together.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're doing everything together, and it will all be fine. I mean, like we said at the beginning of everything, we don't know everything.
Yeah.
But this is what has worked for us. So
I was going to say that one of the things that we learned from both of you is that,
Oh, you let some
wait,
We were
none of
listening
them
now.
know first, no?
is that when income fluctuates, because now I'm earning more than she was earning more than I was, blah blah blah. I'm hoping that when it dips, sugar mommy, come on. So what I'm saying is, we learned from you guys that it's okay. You understand? As long as everybody understands that it's a process and it's a phase.
It's life.
It's
and
life.
it's marriage.
So before we go, we want to do a quick challenge. You know what? Let the ladies just pick. So who should challenge?
Okay, how do we know? How do we decide?
No, you guys just pick. I pick Bill. Bill is going to challenge from our team. She's just going to. So you guys pick. Who do you want to take this challenge? It's completely lyrics.
We're gonna fail woefully.
It's okay.
Okay, so I'll both fail.
Okay.
So Yoma is representing their team.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
So, content. First song.
Last. Burna Boy.
What? I don't even know.
Wait,
what
let's
song
hear
that
now.
What's that? Last, everybody go chop breakfast.
Exactly. Do you know it at all?
Last, start now.
Oh yeah, start it. So at which point you pause it for us to now continue?
Complete it.
is. I don't know this. Like I literally don't know this.
Last.
That's the only line I know.
Now everybody go chop breakfast. Shayo.
They were already
that's
this
the end.
was a shy.
What did she say?
Shayo.
I said Shayo now.
Okay.
I said Shayo.
Okay, so 1-1.
You didn't record.
You're already going. So whiskey dojo legba. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, go.
Mi oju elegba o, they know my story. I dey come from ghetto.
Oh wow.
I dey hustle to chop.
Me and you I know one story.
Wow.
Baby, whiskey will
Wow.
I damaged the song.
So that's 0-0 on that part. Oh my god. That's
Okay,
deep.
so one more song, right?
One more song. Tiebreaker song. BTS, give us a song. That's too slow. Okay, Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. Let's go.
Not lie. Sorry. You start the song.
Gotta make a change. Huh? No, okay, I don't know that part. The chorus. I want you to sing the chorus.
I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Ooh. I'm telling him to change his ways. And no one's gonna dance the villain. And in the world, a better place. Take a look at yourself and make the change. I got it.
Now, some parts I say, I'm asking you to. No, man. There's no such thing as a man. So thank you very much for playing that. We obviously have a very strange tie. And apparently you both don't know lyrics. It's what it is. Have you ever told anybody where you really are?
Yes, several times. Like at the beginning, we saw stuff with that. No, we didn't meet on. After we were just like,
you know what? We met on this set.
Let's just say that I could.
Oh, shut up.
Is that part rolling?
We are not rolling.
Bloopers. Don't forget.
I think I gave it to.
Is this past 2?
For the first one, too.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah, you need to go.
We need to
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Even she needs to go. Okay.
We need to wrap it up.